Hey guys, welcome back to Sri's Bio Simplified. Today we are going to practice some important questions from chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Here we have a set of 10 questions today. Okay, let's get started. Let's see our first question. Genetic code determines option A, structural pattern of an organism, option B, sequence of amino acid and protein chain, option C, variation in offspring, option D, consistency and morphological trait. Genetic code determines sequence of amino acid and protein chain. The genetic code expresses in a way that 64 codons constitute it as it occurs in triplets. According to the genetic code, 3 bases must be employed to encode the 20 standard amino acids used by living cells to build up proteins. Hence, option B, sequence of amino acid, is the right answer. Next one. In the DNA molecule, option A, the proportion of adenine in relation to thymine varies with the organism. Option B, there are 2 strands which run anti-parallel, that is 5' to 3' direction, and the other is 3' to 5' direction. Option C, the total amount of purine nucleotides and the pyrimidine nucleotides is not always equal. Option D, there are 2 strands which run parallel in the 5' to 3' direction. According to Chargaff rule, in all cellular DNAs, regardless of the species, a number of adenosine residues is equal to the number of thymidine residues, which means that A equal to T and that the number guanosine residues is equal to the number of tridine residues, G equal to C, which makes option A incorrect. Hence, that the sum of purine residues equal to the sum of pyrimidine residues, that is A plus G equal to T plus C. This means that purine to pyrimidine or pyrimidine to purine ratio is constant for a species, which makes option C incorrect. The same orientation of all phosphodiester linkages along the DNA chain imparts each nucleic acid strand a specific polarity and distinct 5' and 3' ends. The 5' end lacks a nucleotide at the 5' position, thereby having a phosphate group, and the 3' end lacks a nucleotide at the 3' position, thereby having a free hydroxyl group. The 5' position phosphate of one strand faces 3' hydroxyl group of other strand, and the 5' phosphate groups of 2 strands are present in opposite positions. 2-strand DNA are anti-parallel, that is not parallel. Option D is incorrect. Thus, option B is the right answer for this question. Okay, next one. Discontinuous synthesis of DNA occurs in one strand because option A, DNA molecule being synthesized is very long. Option B, DNA dependent DNA polymerase catalyzes polymerization only in one direction, 5' to 3' direction. Option C, it is a more efficient process. Option D, DNA ligase has to have a role. The DNA dependent DNA polymerase catalyzes polymerization in the one direction, that is 5' to 3' direction. This creates some additional complications at the replication fork. Consequently, on one strand, the template with polarity 3' to 5', the replication is continuous, while on the other, the template with polarity 5 to 3, it is discontinuous. The discontinuously synthesizing fragments are later joined by the enzyme DNA ligase. Thus, option B is the right answer for this question. Next one. Which form of RNA has a structure resembling clover leaf? Option A, rRNA. Option B, hnRNA. Option C, mRNA. Option D, tRNA. The right answer for this question is D. Okay, next one. The length of DNA molecule greatly exceeds the dimension of the nucleus in eukaryotic cells. How is the DNA accommodated? Option A, deletion of non-essential genes. Option B, supercoiling in nucleosomes. Option C, DNA's digestion. Option D, through elimination of repetitive DNA. Histones are highly alkaline proteins found in eukaryotic cell nuclei that package and order the DNA into structural units called nucleosomes. They are the chief protein components of chromatin, acting as spools around which DNA binds and play a role in gene regulation. Without histones, the unwound DNA and chromosomes would be very long, that is, a length to width ratio of more than 10 million to 1 in human DNA. For example, each human cell has about 1.8 meters of DNA, approximately 6 feet, but wound on the histone it has about 90 micrometers, that otherwise called 0.09 mm of chromatin, which when duplicated and condensed during mitosis result in about 120 micrometer. So, the DNA is accommodated by supercoiling in nucleosomes with the help of histones. Hence, option B, supercoiling in nucleosomes, is the right answer. Next one. The method of DNA replication in which two strands of DNA separates and synthesize new strands is called as option A, dispersive, option B, conservative, option C, semi-conservative, option D, non-conservative. Explanation part. DNA replication is the process of producing two identical replicas from one original DNA molecule. This biological process occurs in all living organisms and forms the basis for biological inheritance. DNA is made up of two strands, and each strand of the original DNA molecule serves as a template for the production of complementary strand, a process referred to as semi-conservative replication. Hence, option C is the right answer. Okay, next one. In a DNA molecule, cytosine is 18 percentage of adenine would be option A 32 percentage, option B 64 percentage, option C 36 percentage, option D 18 percentage. According to Chargaff rule, number of purine, that is adenine plus guanine equal to number of pyrimidine, that is cytosine and thymine. Hence, the amount of guanine should be equal to cytosine and the amount of adenine should be equal to thymine. As per the data given above, we can infer that the percentage of G equal to percentage of C equal to 18 percentage. Both will be equal to 18 percentage. Now, total percentage of total A and T equal to 100 minus 18 equal to 64. So, the percentage of A is 64 by 2 is equal to 32 percentage. Hence, option A 32 percentage is the right answer. Okay, next one. Which of the following correctly represents the flow of genetic information? Option A, DNA, RNA, then protein. Option B, RNA and DNA, then protein. Option C, RNA, protein, DNA. Option D, protein, RNA, and then DNA. The flow of intrinsic information from DNA to RNA and then to the polypeptide is called central dogma of molecular biology. So, option A, DNA, RNA, and then protein is the right answer for this question. So, that's it for the day, guys. Hope you guys learned something. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.